Morning, I'm John Holmes, and this is the new Holmes Hobby House. We've been doing a little bit of demolition to it. You can check out our huge dumpster. Tall enough that none of the neighbors are throwing trash into it, which is mighty nice. But it's a little rainy today, so we're gonna just go on inside. Most of the house furnishings were thrown away, but some of them were put onto this nice little screened-in porch that will probably stay. It needs a little bit of work, but it's not so bad that we need to rip it out. There's minimal rot, and the screens just need to be tacked back in. But a lot of stuff to be yard saled, I guess. Oh, we've done most of the demolition on the house that we're going to do. Floors have been ripped out. The walls have been taken down that need to. As we can see, it's very mishmash job. Being an 80-year-old house, there's a lot of chances for things to go wrong, patches in the floor to be made, and repatches in the floor to be made. Not really sure what's going on in the center of the room, but whoever was doing the floor work decided that they were just going to build up on top of floor, and then put a little bit of felt on top of that to hide any gaps. And so we have this place in the middle of the floor where we have hardboard over hardwood floor, and then just a regular old board in the middle, and to build it up they use that piece of felt. There was a closet built over here that they did the same. We actually found upside down pieces of carpet in between the hardboard to hide the little sections where it was varying depths, so you wouldn't feel it when you walked across it. Kind of weird, honestly. Then while ripping all of this out, we found over here in the corner of the room that was something in the basement. Probably an HVAC unit that is no longer hooked up. It may still be underneath there. We haven't crawled underneath to check because, well, it's a very tight crawl space. But floors came out, and we're finding all kinds of good stuff. There were multiple layers of vinyl flooring in here. Pulled those up. Fortunately, didn't find any other defects hiding. So that was nice. Same for in here. There was a couple layers of flooring. Ripped it up. We've got hardboard, what looks to be over actual wood lay underneath. You can see, maybe if you can zoom in enough, you can see the cracks where all the boards are laid underneath this hardboard. And so maybe there was water damage at some time, or the finish was horrible and they kept getting splinters, and instead of refinishing the floor, they just decided, hey, let's throw hardboard over that. And down the road somebody thought, hey, let's just throw carpet over that. So we have multiple layers. Some little fun parts of it though. We got ourselves a live outlet in the floor, nice and rusty. Originally, there probably was not any ceiling spots for lights, and so they would just have these floor outlets hooked into the switches, and you turn it on, your floor lamp turns on, or a chain lamp. This house is old enough, it probably had chain lamps hanging off the ceiling. Fun. Go on to the bathroom. The best part. Same as the rest of the house, there has been lots of fixes going on. There are 4 different sections of flooring in here, not including the original. This looks like the original board that the house was laid in. Definitely not in a salvageable condition. We'll rip up the entire floor in here and just redo it. It'll be a lot easier than trying to salvage anything, for sure. Now, I had guessed that there was not a wax ring underneath the toilet. That was a spot-on guess. Fortunately, there was not much water damage because of it. Not a lot of people living in the house for the last couple of years, I suppose. So that was a good thing, I guess. Floor's coming up anyway, though, so I guess it probably just doesn't matter. You can now see the drain stack. It was hiding behind this nice piece of wood, which was cut away at multiple points for who knows why. And the main stack, it's just cast iron. It has rusted out pretty much fully on this one side. We're gonna at least patch that. We may end up replacing it, but we won't know until we actually get down underneath the flooring and see what the rest of the condition is. But it shouldn't be too bad of a fix. Unfortunately, it is above the drain for the toilet, so it's just sink water that goes through there at that point. Well, the bathtub itself is going to go. We have a couple of fixed boards here and here. It was probably to remove and install this. So we'll pull these boards out and we should be able to tilt the tub out without removing the studs for the walls here or there. Yeah, we may end up removing some of these boards too. As you can see, there's been some water damage. It's very typical behind a vinyl shower or plastic shower to be all kinds of water damage in the wood behind it on the walls. You have to keep up on the caulking every single year on this kind of stuff, or else it just seeps in and starts causing problems. Even in my own house, I'm not the best about recaulking every single year in my tubs, so it's kind of to be expected on that thing. We'll rip this out, we'll do a stand-up shower, probably an insert, and go from there. If the wall will allow us to, then we may extend the bathroom into the addition a little bit, but that is to be seen. That may be a much larger project than it's worth. Oh, bathroom's getting gutted. And here is the addition. We walk into the bathroom, and this used to be the 2-bedroom addition. And we ripped out all the flooring, we ripped out the interior wall covers, and as you can see, it's a fairly wide open room, but it, as the rest of the house, has had multiple fixes to it, and we're really not sure what's going on. It's kind of an investigative report that is ongoing. A couple of fun issues. Watch your arm there. We got live wires just kind of hanging in the wall. That was fun to be ripping apart and find. And we got the same thing on the other side over here. Whenever they framed in these walls, somebody was just a little lazy. Ooh, wow. I think I heard a short there. Fun.
Wow.
So what we'll do is essentially take up the floors. We will dig down very deep to the frost line, a little bit deeper than the frost line, and we'll put large concrete footers, whatever you want to call them, underneath the house, and then put king studs up to this header that runs across. Now, that wouldn't be too big of a deal if somebody had not come in and cut the header in half. We have a cut in the header here, and I found another cut in the header in another location too. So this doesn't actually support the roof properly. There's no foundation under the floor, and so all the weight that's pressing down is just sagging the floor. They did throw down a few cinder blocks on top of the dirt, but that didn't do any good as far as the settling is concerned. And so what we'll have to do is essentially just buy a really long header, support the entire roof and ceiling in here with it. That'll be laid on its own foundation, and then from there we'll be able to raise the floor up if we need to slightly, put a span across the center of the floor, but we'll see as time goes on. First things first, we'll suspend the ceiling, and then we will deal with the floor after that. Shouldn't be too difficult, honestly, especially once we rip these walls out. We'll be able to work around and get everything done. Then after that, new sheetrock and make it look good, a little bit new flooring, and it should be fairly comfortable. Now, we will have to figure out what's going on with this side of the house. It's pulling away. There has been water damage in the past. There was probably water leaking down here. We have water damage on this side and on the other side of the floor on the interior of the house. So we'll need to see why exactly everything is getting pulled away from the main structure. It may just be a little bit of settling. It may not have been ever attached to the house properly. We'll just kind of figure that out. We'll just have to rip out a little bit more, but not much. We're at the point of certain reconstruction here. So that is about it for today's edition. If y'all have any questions or comments or anything specific that you want to see about the house, throw some comments down below and subscribe to us to see the next video. Have a good day.